Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We're going to do an unboxing today of first in a series of White Dog games that have just arrived. The first one is going to be the one I've been looking at the longest. This is N, the Napoleonic Wars. This is a solitaire game. They're all solitaire games. Not everything that White Dog Games does is solitaire, but everything I ordered from them is by Ben Madison. This is a pretty abstract game of the entire Napoleonic Wars period from more or less the British perspective. A lot of these games are available in a print and play version. These are the actual, and I think a Ziploc version as well. This is the actual boxed version. These are printed on demand through Blue Panther. Same folks that do the print on demand for Hollenspiel. And so it's the same type of thing. It's a 1-inch box with like a label on it, but it's nevertheless relatively handsome. And it's got that distinctive print-on-demand smell. And you do want to, from experience, you do want to go through the components of White Dog Games because I've had them be missing things before. All right, so we have a rule book. And it's a fairly detailed looking rulebook for White Dog Games. It's only 12 pages, but the print is relatively small. There's not a ton of text or anything. The paper's quite slippery. It's hard to turn. I presume that we'll get used to that. Not tons of components, but we have, let's see here. So we have a map, a turn record track, the counter tray card, which I'll see in a minute, hopefully, a player aid, and then there is a counter sheet, a rule book, and a scenarios and random events book, and 3 6-sided dice. Okay, so I can verify that there are no dice here, which is not a big deal, because it's not like I don't have dice. So let's make sure that everything else is here. We have a scenario book. We have the player aid card, the quote-unquote counter tray, and the turn record track. And here's the board, which is 11 by 17. And again, it's print on demand. It's printed on like a heavy paper. Pretty abstract game, as I think you can probably see. But nevertheless, it's something I've been looking at for a while, and I would like to give it a shot. So the turn record track also has a battle results table and a player force pool and a light infantry table. I'm not sure what this means. We'll be interested to see that. Now the counter tray is an interesting thing. So this is a Ben Madison kind of trademark item. And what this is you set all of the various counters for the game up on this in preparation for playing. It's actually quite a neat idea, and it actually also coincidentally tells you where to put stuff if you are using an actual counter tray. So looking at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So there's more here than you could fit in a typical counter tray, but it also tells you, like, there's 4 Prussians, for example. Now here are the counters, and this is, again, very typical Blue Panther print-on-demand stuff, where it's on this extremely heavy board-type material, and these will probably punch right out, I would think. But it's a full counter sheet, which is not typical for games that I've seen out of them. So it's a fairly big game as Blue Panther print-on-demand war games go. And of course, we got a bunch of French units. We got some British units, Russian units, Austrian units. Presumably, there are spaces for all these on here. So there should be some Spanish units as well, which are right here. Here's some Prussians. Very interesting looking game system. So we'll see. And again, it is a solitaire game, so there's a pretty good chance. I picked these particular titles on the basis of them being relatively easy to film, so you have a pretty good chance of seeing further content. Let's look at these scenarios. Another thing that makes me feel like this is very full-featured for the kind of game that it is and for the price point is that there are, in fact, 3 different scenarios. There's a 1792 scenario, an 1805 scenario, and an 1813 scenario, which is pretty neat. And apparently there's some kind of chip pull mechanism as well, from what I can see. Okay. And some references, which is great. Good to see. Which include games as well, including Mark McLaughlin's The Napoleonic Wars and War and Peace, for example. Very interesting. French invasion table and a Napoleon table. Okay. So that's very interesting looking. That's a little more interesting than I expected. It's a solitaire game, but it's not a States of Siege type mechanism, as far as I could tell. That is a space in which Ben Madison operates a lot, and I am interested in him as a designer after he was recommended to me. So very much looking forward to getting this on a table. If you've enjoyed the unboxing, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon to get notified when new content comes out. If you'd like to support Ardwulf's Lair, please consider sharing the video around on social media, or you can click on the Patreon link in the video description. Thanks again for watching, and happy wargaming.